What if the one place that shaped every witch and wizard never existed? No Sorting Hat, no Great Hall, no Hogwarts. Imagine a world where magic still exists, but without a place to learn it. No school to guide young wizards, no Dumbledore, no ministry oversight, just raw, unstable power scattered across a chaotic world. This is not just a theory. It's a reimagining of the entire wizarding world as you know it. And it begins the moment Albus Dumbledore, then just a young prodigy himself, proposes the foundation of Hogwarts, and is denied. In this alternate reality, the four founders never come together. Godric Gryffindor fights alone in distant lands. Salazar Slytherin becomes a powerful warlord in the shadows. Helga Hufflepuff and Rowena Ravenclaw retreat into magical obscurity. The dream of unifying young magical minds dies before it begins. Without Hogwarts, magical children are left to discover their powers alone. Some are born into wizarding families that do their best. Others, especially Muggle-borns, grow up terrified of their abilities. The Ministry of Magic, overwhelmed and underprepared, starts to collapse under the weight of unregulated magic. And in the chaos, darkness rises. Voldemort is never Tom Riddle, the brilliant boy molded by Dumbledore and the walls of Hogwarts. No, in this world, he's something else entirely. Raised in complete isolation, discovering magic without guidance, tortured by voices and visions he doesn't understand. He doesn't become a cunning manipulator. He becomes a monster. And Harry Potter? He never gets a letter. There's no platform 9 3/4, no Diagon Alley, no wand from Ollivander. Instead, Harry grows up with strange things happening around him. Lights flicker, glass shatters, people get hurt, and Harry doesn't know why. The Dursleys don't just fear him in this world, they lock him away. Without Hogwarts, there's no Hagrid to bust down the door, no McGonagall to protect him, no Ron, no Hermione. But the scar remains, because Voldemort still fears a prophecy, one that warns of a boy born as the 7th month dies. The Dark Lord still seeks him out, and the curse still backfires. Only now, there is no Dumbledore to drop Harry at the Dursleys. No protective spells, no love-based magic. Harry survives, barely. And when he does, he disappears into the shadows of the Muggle world, broken and alone. Now, fast forward. Harry is 16. His powers are raw, untrained, and terrifying. He's never spoken to another magical soul. His dreams are filled with red eyes and serpents, with fire and screams. He's not the chosen one. He's the ticking bomb. Meanwhile, across the magical underground, Voldemort rises unopposed. The Order of the Phoenix never forms. There's no place for heroes to train, no unity. The magical world fractures into hidden factions and violent enclaves. Wands are smuggled, children vanish, magical beasts roam free. The world tips closer to war with every full moon. And then, they find him. A witch named Bathilda Bagshot, still alive in this reality, hears whispers of a boy in Surrey. A boy who can make walls explode with a thought. A boy who survived the killing curse. She tracks Harry down. She doesn't greet him with warmth. She sedates him, chains him in protective enchantments, and begins the work of unlocking his past. As Harry wakes, the only face he sees is hers, weathered, severe, and terrified. "You don't understand," she tells him. "Without Hogwarts, there was no one to teach you balance. You are the weapon now." Harry doesn't believe her. But when the visions begin to grow stronger, when he starts to hear Voldemort calling his name in the mirror, he realizes she may be right. And so begins Harry's journey. Not in a castle filled with wonder, but in an abandoned ministry bunker, training under an old historian with shaking hands. Each spell is dangerous, each memory painful. He learns not from textbooks, but from fragments of forbidden magic hidden away for decades. And somewhere, in the distance, Voldemort begins his march, not with Death Eaters in masks, but with creatures summoned from the void, and with one final word spoken into the night. Find the boy. Bathilda watches Harry closely. His power is unlike anything she's seen. Not just strength, but instability, rage, a storm caged too long. She teaches him the basics: wand movement, focus, channeling energy through emotion rather than fear. But it's not enough. Outside, the magical world continues to unravel. Without Hogwarts to bind generations together, trust among magical families is shattered. Purebloods become isolationists. Muggle-borns form underground networks, hunted for the very powers they don't understand. Werewolves claim abandoned territories. Goblins barricade Gringotts. The wizarding world is not a society anymore. It's a battlefield. Whispers speak of a boy training in secret, of power unshaped and wild. Some call him a savior, others a weapon. And Voldemort, he listens. He begins sending scouts, not Death Eaters, creatures from the Forbidden Forest, shadows that move without light, Dementors not controlled by the Ministry, but drawn by chaos. Harry feels them before they arrive. The air chills, even underground. He dreams of drowning in darkness. His magic lashes out in his sleep, cracking walls, shattering protective spells. He is slipping. Bathilda knows it. She sends a message to the last name she dares trust: Remus Lupin. Remus has lived in hiding since the fall of magical society. He never taught at Hogwarts, because it never existed. He's not a professor. He's a survivor, a reluctant warrior. But when he sees Harry, he knows who he is instantly. And Harry, he doesn't flinch from the werewolf. He asks, "Can you help me?" Remus nods. "I can try." Together, they begin to train in earnest. Not like school, like war. Harry learns how to duel, how to cast non-verbally, how to defend his mind from invasion, occlumency, legilimency, magic that Hogwarts would never teach to a child. Because in this world, there is no childhood. But the bond forming between Remus and Harry is more than tactical. It's emotional. It's the first time Harry feels seen. He begins to question not just the magic, but the world that failed him. Why didn't anyone build a school? Remus sighs. They tried. Politics, fear. Some said it would be too dangerous. Others wanted control. Harry's voice is cold. So, instead, they let us become weapons. The silence is answer enough. But hope flickers. Remus tells him of a group, hidden witches and wizards, scattered across the globe, who still believe in the vision of Hogwarts, who still believe that education, unity, and truth can exist. And they've been waiting for someone like Harry. It's time to bring them together. But Voldemort moves faster. He arrives not in secret, but in storm. His face is monstrous, warped by years of unchecked power. He doesn't speak with charisma. He roars with fury. And behind him, armies of corrupted creatures pour into the magical underground. Bathilda dies trying to protect the bunker. Remus is wounded. Harry is forced to choose, flee or fight. He chooses both. He uses what Bathilda taught him, how to disappear in plain sight, and what Remus gave him: courage, strategy, resistance. As Voldemort hunts him, Harry begins to strike back, not to win, but to send a message. You don't own this world. Every battle leaves him stronger. Every survivor joins his cause. And slowly, a name reemerges: the new Hogwarts. Not a castle, not a school, a rebellion. an idea. The very thing the world refused to build, Harry now becomes. He teaches others. He trains the lost. He gives those with magic a place to belong. But Voldemort, he adapts. He creates a lie that Harry is the destroyer of magic, that he causes the chaos, that only Voldemort can bring order. The world begins to fracture again, this time not from lack of structure, but from too much fear. Harry realizes he must do the unthinkable. He must confront Voldemort not with hate, but with truth. In the final battle, it's not spells that matter, it's belief. Harry stands before Voldemort and speaks not as a killer, not as a hero, but as a teacher. We are not meant to be ruled by fear. We are meant to grow, to learn. That's what Hogwarts was meant to be. And in that moment, something changes. Some creatures falter. Some Death Eaters lower their wands. Because even in a world without Hogwarts, the idea of it still lives. The battle doesn't end in triumph, but it ends in transformation. Harry doesn't win with death. He wins with legacy. And as he builds the new Hogwarts, stone by stone, heart by heart, the magical world begins to remember who it could have been. If only it had believed in something greater. Years later, as the walls of the new Hogwarts echo with laughter and light, a new generation of witches and wizards walk its halls, not to be shaped into weapons, but to be guided toward purpose. Harry stands at the entrance, older now, watching them with quiet hope. The scars remain, on his body, in his mind, but the world is healing. He writes a single sentence above the great doors. Magic without guidance is chaos, but together, we learn. And maybe that was the lesson all along. If you made it this far, thank you. What do you think the wizarding world would have become without Hogwarts? Comment your thoughts below, and let me know what if theory we should explore next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the magic. Because sometimes, the greatest power is the story we choose to tell.